What's up, man? Long time no see.
What's going on? I know.
It's been
It's
a
been a
minute.
hot minute, like a whole 20 seconds.
Yeah, we ran into some more technical difficulties. We actually recorded a whole podcast, and then I didn't get any of your audio. And then on Facebook, it just wasn't clicking on my end. So now that we found a happy medium, hopefully we
So,
can we
all
can get this
good,
done.
man.
All right, so
Let's do
I'll
it.
just get into it. What's up? This is the Mavs Fathers For Life podcast. Welcome back. We are so happy to be back with you guys. So many of you have asked, and now you are receiving. So I'm your host, Steven Vialis, the Filipino flamethrower. Here's my co-host, the beautiful man in front of me, the man with the hottest takes and the coldest name, Dylan Blizzard.
Know it.
And we're just gonna get into it, man, because I feel like we've done this before. So a lot has
I
happened
think,
since our last pod, because I think our last pod was around holiday season. It was right
yeah,
before Thanksgiving, and for some reason we decided that we were going to take a hiatus before the biggest news dropped in Mavs history. So let's just jump into that part. So we missed a lot. The Mavericks season as a whole wasn't a successful one,
right.
but we got Kyrie Irving. Um,
We did.
we got one of the best point guards of our generation, and we traded away what I think is a couple of role players. Dodo was
Yeah,
very instrumental and vital to our success. He's very close to Luca. He's one of those guys who I loved because he's just the ideal 3-and-D guy. He has no chill. He'll guard
right.
the best offensive player on the other side, and then he'll hit big shots when he's called to.
Yeah.
And then we also lost Spencer Dinwiddie, who was a fan
Ish.
favorite. He was our instant offense off the bench. He was another option, especially when we lost Jalen Brunson in the offseason. He was an
Yeah.
instrumental part. So, just right off the bat, man, talking about those couple things that happened during our hiatus, what was your
Yeah.
initial reaction to those things?
Well, the initial reaction was as soon as I heard that Kyrie was even an option to come to Dallas, I was like, what in the world? Who made this fake media post up? Um, because as a Mavs fan, we haven't gotten a big superstar in years, or I
No,
mean forever.
no, man. And
And
even
so
when we
it's like,
do,
why?
they're past their prime. You know,
Yeah,
yeah,
and it's
Darren,
like
Darren Williams, OJ Mayo. I feel like
Porzingis. I mean, that was
KP
a
was hurt. I
high.
mean, yeah,
Yeah, but as soon as I heard that we were fin- finalizing negotiations, I was like, oh crap, what? I had to pinch myself for a minute. Man, Kyrie's just a difference maker. I mean, we saw what he did when he came. I mean, he was the leading scorer in the fourth quarter for a reason.
oh, clutch, man.
Um, and then Luka's the leading scorer in the first quarter. You put those two together, you really only have to defend for two quarters because you got the first quarter and the fourth quarter taken care of.
Exactly, and it's like the perfect blend because we all kind of thought initially you don't want to take the ball away from Luca because
Right.
when he has the ball in his hands, magic happens. He's Luca magic for
Yeah.
a reason, and
Right.
then at the time Kyrie was already the leading scorer in the fourth quarter in the league. So we're like, how is this gonna work? You know, is Luca
Right.
gonna share the ball or is Kyrie gonna be more of a second option, the open guy when they double team him? And we found out that it
Right.
works just fine on offense. At least on offense, we look great. The other side of the
Yeah.
ball, defense is a completely different story. But just adding someone as dynamic and as incredible as Kyrie is nothing but good news for our organization,
Yeah.
right? I mean, like
Yeah.
he's electric. He's gonna put um, so many, because like we're a good team, but we don't get all the primetime games, right?
No.
Even if we have like a top five, top three player in the league with Luca, now we have another
Yeah.
top 10 player in the league in Kyrie. So I'm betting we're gonna get more primetime games. I'm betting that
Right.
we're gonna get more opportunities to showcase um, Dallas being one of the premier offenses in the league, and I do think with another offseason or with an actual offseason with Kyrie and Luca and Coach Kidd and all the new additions that we've added, we can only get better.
Man,
And last season was a big disappointment. I mean, I know you can
I
attest
think
to
that's
this.
my. Yeah.
Just from the simple fact that we didn't make the playoffs. We go from the Western Conference Finals, where no one expected us to go, with a group
Yeah.
of rag team uh, bench players with Jalen Brunson and Luca, and they
Yeah.
take out the Suns, which was incredible. But then the
Okay.
next season, we come back and we just look flat. We look off.
Yeah.
We look like we're missing four
We're
guys on the
questioning.
court.
We're questioning Coach Kidd if he can even coach now. If it was one of those one and done
Yeah,
things.
yeah, big time.
Basically, what he did in Brooklyn and Milwaukee is one of those. He'll have one good season, and then all the other seasons aren't good, and that's why he ends up leaving.
Yeah, and
But man, yeah,
real
very
quick,
disappointment.
look at the shirt I changed into, bro. Yes,
Hey,
let's
let's
go,
go!
let's go, 77. But another thing that I wanted to kind of touch base on and hit is just how different we look this season compared to last. Not with just Kyrie,
Yeah,
but the other big addition, Grant Williams, the two rookies that we
big addition.
drafted, and the guys that we lost.
Yeah,
I think a lot can be made from the guys that we've lost, but at the same time, for me, the most impactful loss that we had this season was Theo Pinson. Just because,
oh,
just because watching them,
rest in
uh,
peace, Theo.
just because watching them, or watching him even like be the first one up on the bench all the time, and showing love to his teammates, fighting for his teammates, getting fined just because they're standing up the whole game. I mean, like, what do you
And
expect?
he's like, all right, I'll take it,
Yeah,
dog. Come on, give me more.
Cuban would just throw that money away. Like, who cares?
Right.
This is the kind of team we have, and he was the heart of that. And it sucks to see him
Yeah.
go, but at the same time, he wasn't getting time on the court. So
He wasn't.
if that's gonna take a roster spot for somebody like Omax or Jaden Hardy or somebody else who's gonna get some playing time, then I'm okay with that. Especially if we're gonna see results, which I'm hoping we will see because of our off season and because who we picked up. I do think that we're gonna be in for a way better season than last.
I agree. I think we can't go any lower than we did
No.
this last year. I mean, we're not a bad team. We weren't a bad team last year. I don't know if we were on a high because we went to the Western Conference Final, and it's just one of those things where we're in this next season thinking we were going to do what exactly we had going into the conference finals, and it bit us in the butt. We didn't want to make any moves in the off season. We wanted to keep the core that we had, and it just wasn't sufficient going forward. But man, like you were saying, if you give Kidd, Kyrie, Grant, Luca Kyrie and Luca a whole off season to feed off of each other, hang out with each other, just get that chemistry down, you will see a lot more off ball Luca, and Luca will be all right with that.
Yes, big time.
But also you also have Kyrie who can play off ball.
Mm-hmm.
And so our rookies we added, Omax and Lively, I think they're going to bring something that rookies in the past haven't brought besides Luca. I mean, we haven't really had any luck on drafting really any good players besides Luca.
We got lucky with Brunson in the same draft, even though he was second
Brunson,
rounder.
yeah, we didn't realize that until
it was too late.
Yeah. But so Brunson and Luca, but other than that, we haven't, and Dirk. I mean, other than that, our history of drafting hasn't been that great. And to pick Lively and Omax, and Lively being compared to a younger Tyson Chandler, I mean, come on.
Music to my ears. Mavs fans know he was instrumental in letting us get deep in the playoff run and eventually winning the championship because he covered Dirk. And we all know Dirk is Daddy Dirk. He's the greatest all time in Dallas history. But he was not a defender. He was not somebody who's going to lock somebody up, especially in that era of great power forwards. Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, Karl Malone, I think he played with him. Like, it's just, we needed Tyson Chandler. We needed that backup. And hopefully Lively can be even better than that, But
piggyback off of that's kind of Luca. It's kind of the same situation with Luca and Lively now. You had Dirk who could score at will and make you look silly, but he couldn't really defend. But you had Tyson and Chandler there to pick up his slack. But now you have Luka, I mean, Luka's great, and he can score whenever he wants to, but his defense isn't always there, just like Dirk's was. But you have Lively now that can portrayed as the next Tyson Chandler. If he can become into that, it's 2011 all over again.
Yes.
I mean,
I mean,
this is our modern day Tyson Chandler and Dirk is Luka and Derek Lively. But the question, the big thing is if we give Lively his time.
yeah.
If we keep him on the bench like we do most of our rookies, because I even think Jaden Hardy should have been playing more last season.
Yeah, because he was cooking. He was cooking at some points, man.
He was, but if we can get Lively and Omax and Hardy and Green just on the same page, those are those four and Luke are core for the next 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's the plan. That's the plan.
And so,
but you brought up a really good point in just Luka and Kyrie in the offseason, getting an offseason working chemistry.
Yeah.
Because of what they've already done already. We've already seen them put in work. Luka's putting in work.
They put in 60 points together each.
And Luka in the offseason, and we've seen the pictures of in shape Luka now. He looks incredible. And he's dominating Greece or whoever they played recently. But Kyrie too. Kyrie was recently playing in the Drew League, and he was the first person in Drew League history to get a triple-double. Like, why is he still doing this at this age? Why is he still putting up these numbers? And like,
it's like that old movie Uncle Drew. That man is Uncle Drew.
He truly is.
He's an old dude who's just still balling.
Just a bucket, man. Just a bucket. And it's going to be so exciting to watch it all come play out. And another thing that you mentioned that I don't want this to get lost with us and the people watching and the people listening is that the reason we even got a baby Tyson Chandler is because we tanked that last game of the season. And it was a risk because there was no guarantee that we were going to keep our pick. We had to play that out to even get a chance to get in that spot, and then we had to pray and get lucky in the lotto, and we did, and it paid off, and we got Lively and we got Omax. So, yes, the season as a whole was a disappointment, but if we were going to tank and fail, we did it to perfection. We really got exactly what we needed.
Tanking does.
Yeah. And
what tanking's supposed to do is what happened to us.
Because honestly,
you tank to get what you need, and we got what we needed. You
tank to get generational talent or talent that's going to help you right now. And there was no way we were going to get Victor Wembanyama. There was no way we were going to get I'm going blank on the second dude, but we weren't going to get the top two talent guys. But what we did was get the best of what was available for our team, and I'm excited. I'm super excited to see where we can go compared to last season. So now I want to talk about the other addition. We kind of mentioned a lot of Kyrie. We kind of talked about our rookies. Let's talk about Grant Williams, man. So what do you think he brings to our roster, to our team that we haven't had, especially last season?
I mean, just look at what he did with Tatum and Brown, man. I mean, his defense is. I mean, he locked down their whole playoff series. He locked down whoever he was guarding.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler.
He's the prime defender on. He guards Giannis. We have no one to guard Giannis, and he guards Giannis. Yeah. So I do think that's exactly what we need because
he's just his defense. He is a true 3-and-D guy. Yeah. But his 3-and-D is an elite 3-and-D player.
Yeah, I would say so. And he's young. He's young.
He is.
He's not like
I didn't realize he was that young. I thought he was an old man.
Because he looks like an old man.
And then come to find out he's only, what?
25,
26, somewhere around our age?
Yeah, something like that.
And so I think he is your elite 3-and-D that you needed. His defense is elite. He can block down anybody, but he can also get buckets in big moments. We saw that in their playoff run. I believe a lot of their late game success for the Celtics was his late game buckets.
Yeah, dude, he's 24. He's younger than us.
Oh, geez. I thought he was our age.
He's 24, bro.
That man got Benjamin Button disease. His body's aging before his age.
That man built like a middle school coach, bro.
No, No, but man, that's a great addition. When I thought it was possible, I was like, that's not going to happen. Mark Cuban ain't going to make that happen.
Yeah, him
Um,
and Luca are the same age, bro.
that's crazy,
It's insane, right?
man. But just we got lucky, and I don't remember what we gave up for it.
I think a pick swap or something. I don't remember.
Pick swap. But if you give up a pick swap for Grant Williams, I mean, I'll take that 10 out of 10 every off season. Um, Now, I am curious. I know there's a lot of trade rumors, and I'm praying that it happens. But Clint Capella and Matthias Thibault, um, that would be. I think that would be the icing on the cake to this whole thing.
Oh man.
Um,
Well, here's the thing
if
with Thibault, we had him because he was a restricted free agent. So
but they matched the
we
offer.
gave him offer, and then the freaking Trailblazers matched it like they're gonna do anything.
Yeah,
They're about to lose Lillard, so Thibault even said himself that he was excited to go to the Mavs, but he's not coming here anymore because they matched. But
yeah,
Capella is very interesting
yeah.
because he is not the biggest center, but he's like
Mm-hmm.
low key dominant. It's crazy because he knows exactly how to play his role.
Yeah,
He cuts to the basket, pick and roll, and then he's a good defender and rebounder, which is exactly what we
and
need.
he can pick and pop.
Yeah, so
I mean,
if we get Clint Capella, this is pretty much an A plus off season, and I think you would
that's.
agree.
I mean, I don't know how realistic it is and how close it's being to happening, but I mean, everybody's saying we need at least one more player. Well, there's your one more player
Yeah,
to top off this whole roster.
yeah,
And if you have this roster for 3 or 4 years down the road, you'll have a lot of success. I think we're going to have a lot of success with the roster we have now, just by adding Grant Williams, and you're giving Luka and Kyrie a full off season, and you got Lively, and you got Omax, and Hardy came into his own, and then Green started to come around. I mean,
and
just you can name off the.
let's not forget one that we were talking about in our other episode, Seth Curry. Seth Curry is back for a
Yeah,
third time with the Mavs, and he's proven that he can be the top option when it comes to a set shooter. And
yeah,
what we're gonna see a lot of, and what we've seen already with Luca and Kyrie, is that there's gonna be so many open looks for other teammates,
right.
just because Luca is Luca, and no matter where the person is on the court, he'll find you, even if he's being
Yeah,
double or triple teamed. And Kyrie's the same way. Like Kyrie's an escape artist, bro. Like he's has the best handles in the league for a reason, and he'll attack the basket. He has the best layup package, but also he's a point guard. Like
yeah.
he'll find the open Grant Williams in the corner three. He'll find Maxi
Oh
Kleber
yeah,
in the corner for a three. He'll find Seth wherever he is. And let's not forget that Green became a knockdown shooter last season from somebody who was
yeah,
scared to take the shots, scared to even look at the basket some points in 2 years ago's playoff run
yeah,
to last season, and he made a huge improvement. And then even Hardy's become a good shooter. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how our offense stacks up with the rest of the league. I do
yeah,
think Grant, just being a 3-and-D guy, helps us so much because we lost that. We lost that when we gave away Dodo, and we lost that when really Bullock kind of had an off year. He
yeah.
wasn't the same Bull that we had in the playoffs. He had some games where he was streaky, but on the defensive end, he kind of looked not the same.
Right.
So I'm hoping that with Green and Grant in the lineup at the same time, that's enough of an elite package to kind of cover the lapses that are going to be made by Luca, who's not the best defender,
Yeah.
or your boy Dwight Powell, who we haven't talked about yet, which I'm pretty proud of you because it's like 20 minutes in, you haven't said anything about him.
Man, he's about to get his time, dog. He's about to get his airtime.
Yeah, so like we know Dwight Powell's not a good defender at all, and he's not the best defensive rebounder, and that kind of
As
killed
a starter, no.
us when we faced those teams who have elite talent. So what are your
Go
thoughts?
back go back to the Golden State series with Looney. I
It,
mean, that was the difference maker in the whole series.
exactly, and Looney's not even the biggest
Looney
guy.
made him look like he was in JV. Like, come on, bro, you can't out. You're the same height as him.
Okay, so let me ask you this: how do you feel about Dwight being the projected starter for us next season?
I don't. I think he will. I don't like it. I think when we got Lively, I was hoping he was gonna, because Lively can be an impact player
Yeah, but you can't
coming
expect
off.
him to just.
You can't, but I think he'll give you more than you think he will.
Yeah.
I think he'll give you more than what Powell has shown to give you as a starter. I mean, I had Powell. I can't pull it up now, but
Hey, tell me why I can hear Nick's voice just saying, "Don't talk about my boy Powell like that, bro."
boy, I'm talking about your boy Powell, Nick. But hold on, let me look up the stat. But his stats were just, I'm like, dude, how are you a starter? Stats like you're not. If if that, you should be third string coming off the bench in garbage time.
Yeah.
Um, but here we go.
You pull up the stats.
I'm pulling them up right now.
Okay.
So get this, all right. Let's see. So he averaged 6.7 points a game, which that's a lot more than I thought he'd average. Um, so I take that back. I will give
Oh
him
my!
that.
Give him his 6 points, bro.
But this year he did have a good year. But if we go back, I think it was the Golden State series. He had 1 point, 2 rebounds, no assist,
Mm-hmm.
and he was shooting 50% from the field.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's not a pop and he's not a shooter. He's a pick and roll. Throw me the ball up or give me the ball and I'll lay it up or dunk it in for you.
Yep.
Um, and I think that can only get you so far as a starter. You have to be able to come off the pick, not just drive, but pull up, shoot a mid range, or but he just can't. I don't know why he can't. I don't know. But I think from what I've seen with Lively, he can get you those pick and roll dunks, but he can also get you those pick and pops too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I think you need to start off with Lively. That's just me. I mean, you can take my hatred for Pal out of it, but I would hate to see Lively get stuck behind Dwight Powell most of the season, and then you throw him in there, and he's like, "Well, crap, I've been playing second string." I think if you get him early with Luka and Kyrie and Grant Williams, those three and Lively, I think those can do damage.
Yeah.
Because Luka's going to find him. You know
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie's going to find him, and Grant Williams will find him too.
Yeah.
But I think Dwight Powell will start, which it's making me sick to my stomach. Um, but I hope it's not long term. I hope Derek Lively shows coming off the bench in a few games that, hey, I am a starter. I can be a starter, which I think he can be. And that's just me. Everybody else might have different opinions, but I saw his highlight.
Yeah.
He is a dog, and he is a man, dude. He's
Yeah.
not. He's not a linky. He's not. He's a rookie, but he's a mature rookie. I mean, he played for Coach K at Duke.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how much better do you need of a coach in a program in the ACC who was dominant for so long?
Now, hold on. You know he retired, right?
I know, but like,
But he's
just
still he's
his,
still he's still involved. He's still there. Like
yeah, he's still involved. But you have that type of coaching, and all the other coaches behind Coach K, I guarantee you, are great coaches too.
yeah.
But I think he's more prepared to start than you would if you were to get somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Is a really big deal because they've
mm-hmm,
produced so much NBA talent, and
yeah,
it's definitely a school that you can look at to have so many NBA players who are successful. And I do think Lively could be one of those guys, especially for us.
yeah,
Because you mentioned that Luca and Kyrie and even Grant will find him. Well, they'll find him because he'll be open. He's gonna be
yeah,
everyone who's gonna be the second or third option to Luca and Kyrie are gonna be wide open
yeah.
because you can't put one person on those guys. It's not
No,
gonna work like that. So those are very good points. So we're actually coming up on 25 minutes, which is pretty good. But
eh,
I wanted to um, I wanted to ask you, how do you think, with our team shaped up and all the additions that we've made, How do you think we finish in this season? And then if we do make the playoffs, where do we finish in the playoffs?
Man, I'm doing my hot takes, fellas. All right, I say we finish in third. We're finishing
Wow.
third. I think
Hold
our
on.
tough.
So just let me give you a list of teams that are hot in the West right now. The Nuggets, the defending champions. The Suns, the super team. The Grizzlies, who were the top seed until they ran into some legal trouble. The Warriors, who have Steph and who just added CP. And you're
I'm
saying,
not okay. So those top four, I'm not worried about the Suns. I
okay,
mean, their starting lineup is a juggernaut. But if Booker goes out, who's coming in for Booker?
right,
If Kevin Durant goes out, who's coming in for Kevin Durant off? They gave away their whole bench just to get these players.
very good point.
They gave away Cam Johnson. They gave away Mikal Bridges.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they gave away which kept them in the game most of the time was their bench.
Yeah.
Because Chris Paul just could not deliver. And so they're a juggernaut starting five, but I'm not worried about them. The Nuggets, the Warriors, and Nuggets and Warriors really is what I'm concerned. Steph Curry is just Steph Curry. He's going to do what he does. I mean, you can't stop him whether you want to or not. You can try and you can tame him for a little bit, but you can't stop him. Jokic, that man.
He's a monster, bro.
I mean, that man's out there racing horses right now and still going to come back and win MVP
and
for
he
the
don't
fourth
even
time
care.
in a row.
He don't even care, bro. He's like
Man,
just a
his
bigger.
comments after the championship, bro, he goes, oh, what? I got to go back and get my horses. I'm like, dude, you just won the championship.
He's a wild
He's
man.
what I think he's on vacation just like Lionel Messi's on. I know we're bringing in soccer, but the MLS is vacation for Lionel Messi, dog. He is making light work of everything. He's like, I'm going to do here. I'm going to get my MLS gold, and then I'm going to retire and ride off into the sunset going easy.
Mm-hmm.
But Jokic, the Nuggets, and the Warriors are the really only ones I'm worried about. I think our lineup stacks up well against Phoenix. Stacks up well against the Grizzlies. I don't think with that whole John Morant thing, their chemistry is. I don't think they're there. I don't think the Spurs are going to be anything special this year. I don't think Wembanyama is going to give them what they think they're going to give. What he's going to give them. I mean, he had spurts in the summer league, but I don't think you're playing against G League players, bro. You're not playing against the Jokic's, or you're not playing against the Giannis's of the NBA. You're playing against dudes who got drafted in the fourth round and are trying to make a name for themselves.
Good point.
And so I'm saying third in the West, fourth at worst. And then in the playoffs, I see us. Here's a really hot take. You ready for this?
Give it to me.
I'm about to give you triple digits Texas Heat, baby. All right.
Okay.
I'm saying the finals.
Like the NBA finals or the Western Conference Finals?
NBA finals.
Ooh.
I think if we can make it to the Western Conference Finals, we have that experience. And we just have beyond talent than we had when we were in the Western Conference Finals the first time. We have experienced players who've been in the Western Conference Finals: Grant Williams, Kyrie, Luka. And so now, do I really want to give you the Heat and say we win the finals? I mean, as a homer, I want to say yes. But the East is just a juggernaut in and of itself, man. Yeah. Their teams are stacked. And their teams aren't going where for a while. I think all their teams have long-term contracts. And so third, regular season, fourth at the worst. And then I'm saying if we can just get to the conference finals, I think we have enough talent and enough experience to get to the NBA finals.
Wow.
I mean, I called that Oklahoma and Texas game last year. I mean, I was 2 points off from that, 49-0. I mean, so
yeah, seriously. You were.
My hot takes are 1 for 1 right now. So
Okay. Well, I'm glad that was your hot take because I would love to see that. Um, Before I go into mine, I just want to piggyback off of one of your really good points is that we do have some guys who have been there before.
yeah,
The difference is Kyrie has won it all. Kyrie is a champion.
yeah,
He has that championship experience. He was the one to hit that big time shot on Steph Curry to get them that finals trophy. And
yeah.
Grant, like you said, he's been there. And then just having Luca be in a playoffs, like he's just a different monster completely than he
Oh
is in the
man,
regular season.
playoff Luca, you just might as well just sit down and let him take over.
I let him cook. So
Man,
now I'll get into my prediction. I do think I'm a little bit more of a realist compared to you, but I do think we are gonna have a way better seasons than last. So I don't think we're gonna be anywhere close to the play-in. I don't think we're gonna be in that 7 to 10, 11 range. I do think that we'll finish either fourth or fifth um, in the West. I do see us being dangerous, but I don't know if we're gonna be that good starting off. I think we're gonna be one of those teams that are kind of finding their groove in the middle or the end of the season. And then
and we get hot at the right time.
yeah, exactly. And I'd rather that than start off hot and then just people figure
Right.
us out or we get an injury. But with that
Yeah.
being said, I do think that if we get matched up with the Suns or the Grizzlies, we're taking that series. So
Oh, easy.
I do think we'll make it to at least the second round, hopefully the
Yeah.
Western Conference Finals. I don't know how we're gonna stack up with the Warriors this go around with them being older and them having
Yeah.
CP3, who might
Or
not even.
even the Nuggets.
The Nuggets is the one team I know for sure we can't hang with just yet, because we have no one to guard Jokic. We have nobody to
Yeah.
guard that dude. And then him and Jamal Murray's 2 man game is just a different level
Nasty.
in itself. But I do think that's where we finish, and I hope that's the case because if that's the case, that's a successful season. We've already had a great
Yeah.
off season. We've already had um, so much excitement surrounding our stars and even our rookies. So I'm hoping your prediction is more true than mine. I'm hoping that Lively does come up and he becomes our starter, and I'm hoping that Luca has an MVP season as well.
Just to piggyback off of that, even if we get to your predictions, just imagine how much that does for Lively and Omax to have that experience of going deep runs in the playoff with the team that they have. And then this team isn't going anywhere the next 5 years. We got Kyrie on what, a 4 year deal, 5 year deal,
Yeah,
something like that. And then I think
it's a
we signed
it's
Grant
a
Williams
it's a
to a long
three
term deal.
it's a 3 year deal, and then it's with a fourth-year player option, I believe.
Yeah. And then we got Grant Williams on a big deal, long term.
Mm-hmm.
This team isn't just a patch to make a run this year. And so if you give your rookies time to grow and you make deep playoff runs, I think this team in the next 2 or 3 years, I think we can give the Nuggets problems.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
Jokic might retire next year and just go ride his horses. I mean, I don't know.
Well, here's the thing.
Um,
Here's the thing that we didn't mention is, yeah, we don't have anybody to guard Jokic, but they don't have anybody to guard Luca.
yeah,
They can't stop him.
I mean, I don't think anybody can guard Luca.
No.
I mean, Devin Booker tried, and then Daddy Luca just said, "Sit down, son. I'll take it from here."
that's his baby, bro. He can't guard him.
You go sit on the sidelines, and me and you will play shoot around before the game.
Oh man! All right, bro.
Man.
So I think we're right at 35. So we're right at our threshold. So do you have any final thoughts or anything you want to preview for next episode?
Man, I think we just talk about the core. I mean, we've talked about all of the additions and what happened last season before we took our leave of absence, but I really want to dig into the core of this team. And I want this to be where we look into previous games. Like, we can watch film on how we stack up against the Warriors, and we can come on this podcast and tell you our thoughts, and we can tell our thoughts of how we match up and what the strengths are and what the weaknesses are. But I'm excited to get this thing back going. I think we kind of had a learning curve before we took the hiatus. But I think we're back stronger than ever. I think we have a lot of good stuff coming down the pipe, and so just stay tuned, stick with us. Yeah, enjoy the ride.
Yeah, that's good. So before I sign off, I will tease something for our next episode I just thought of right now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna write um, a goodbye letter to our favorite former Mav, and we're gonna read it on our pod. We're not gonna say who it is yet.
Let's
We're
do it, man.
we're gonna write our goodbye letter. We're gonna be heartfelt, funny, whatever it be, and then we're gonna do that next pod. So again, guys, thank you for tuning in. I'm happy
Yes,
we're
thank
back.
you guys.
I'm happy we're back, and I'm happy that we're committed, and we're gonna give you guys more content, and hopefully something that you can just plug in, listen to, give you a laugh, give you some info. Um, yeah, we're just excited to be back. We love you, Mavs Fathers for Life. We're out. Peace.